What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing great. I just watched the Rams and the Cardinals Monday Night Football game, and it was a big game, plain and simple. The Rams needed it to be able to prove to me, or at least to a lot of people, if they were going to be legit contenders or if they were just going to be just another playoff team. And for the Cardinals, it meant a lot for were they going to be able to come into their own building, handle business, and win the game that they should win, given the amount of injuries the Rams had. The Rams were missing both of their first and number two corners. Jalen Ramsey missing the best defensive player other than Donald that they have on that entire team. That's a big deal. And the Cardinals receivers kind of had their way with the backups, which they should. If they don't, then that's a bigger problem. But even then, the Cardinals just did not make the plays they needed to make. Some questionable coaching with going for it on fourth down instead of just taking the 3 points and trying to trust your defense. But I don't really want to get too much into the Cardinals because I think they didn't play as well as they could have. And I think that's just it. I'm not really taking too much into account for their performance. What I want to do is I want to praise the Rams because playing without Higbee, both their starting corners, their starting center was out. Like they're just injury riddled all over the place on that roster right now. And they came in to Arizona and handled business and pulled off what I think it's an upset. I think it's an upset given the circumstances. And I think they figured it out on offense, at least for what they need to do. One, Sony Michel needs to be the starting running back from now to the end of the season. He is light years better than Darrell Henderson. And I think it's been proven over these last couple of weeks where he's ran for, I think, close to 200 yards total, that's 100 yards a game. Granted, the first one was the Jags, but he came out and he was very, very good today, too. He was just it's those 4 and 5 yard carries where you get hit, right at the line of scrimmage, and then you manage to squirm forward and get a couple yards for your team. Those are the plays Darrell Henderson does not make. If you want to prove it or not, that man, Darrell Henderson, has 142 carries, I believe, on the season. Guess how many tackles he's broken? You might think like 15, 18, like 20. No, it's 3. He's broken 3 tackles on 142 carries. I don't want to be the guy that's like, I could do better than that, but I'm pretty sure that I might be able to do better than that. 3 tackles, 3. That basically means the second he gets touched, the play is over or he's going down. So if he gets hit in the backfield, you just lost yards. With Sony Michel, yeah, any running back can lose yards in the backfield. It happens, but you're a heck of a lot more likely that he's going to, get first hit and then gain something afterwards or break it and take off. I think it's a big deal that they run with him going forward. Henderson should only be in to spell him for rest. That's my personal opinion. If you have a different opinion, I would love to see it in the comments or an argument, whatever it may be. I'm completely here for it. And then they figured out how to use, in my opinion, I think they figured out the best way to use Beckham, Kupp, and Van Jefferson. I don't know if it's necessarily a big 3 receivers because Van's very young, but I think the big thing was getting Beckham he looks comfortable in the offense now, and he looks like an actual weapon. He looks like not necessarily New York Giant Beckham, but like he's close to it, and that's kind of all you can ask for from a guy that was picked up off the streets. I think he was fantastic tonight. He had a touchdown, like a 40-yard pass and run. He's a big player. Kupp's legit. I mean, he did what he's been doing all season. It's just he's one of the best receivers in the league for a reason. I think that's got value in its own right. Big play after big play. And then Van Jefferson had I think it was a 52-yard touchdown or something like that. You need somebody that's going to take the top off the defense for guys like Kupp and Beckham to work those intermediate to short routes. So I think they figured out how to use those 3 receivers. I think they found what works with the running game and just letting Sony be the guy. He just looks so much better. The eye test for me is telling me everything with that. And their offensive line, they did a good job of not letting Stafford get killed all game. And Stafford deserves a lot of praise because in the beginning of the game, he looked a little shaky. He was throwing off of his back foot a lot. There wasn't pressure necessarily there. And I was thinking, oh no, here we go again. It's going to be another one of those duds like he had against the Titans. But credit to him, he got it together and he played a fantastic game. Dude didn't really have any questionable throws that should have been picked or anything like that. He didn't have sacks where he was holding on to the ball too long. He was really, really good today. And that's the Stafford they need if they're going to be able to do anything in the playoffs. If that's the Stafford they get, I like their chances against anyone. Not that they're going to necessarily beat. Like I don't think they're my Super Bowl pick just yet, but I'm a lot more confident in them after this game. If you are, comment why, or if you're agreeing with what I believe, or if you're not, tell me why. I want to know why people, are for or against them right now, because they're a very polarizing team right now. Defensively, I'm not sold on it. I know they were missing a ton of guys, but even in the past, like this would have been one of those games where you probably just stick Ramsey on Hopkins and then you just leave him there and he doesn't go for anyone else. And then you let you game plan your other guys to, shadow and help other guys with Kirk and Ertz and, AJ Green, Rondell Moore. You game plan for that. You don't have to do much with Jalen Ramsey. He's probably going to lock down whoever he's guarding or do as best a job as anyone is going to do on the field. I think it just makes sense to just operate that way. Ernest Jones, the rookie linebacker, he had a pick in the red zone. Shout out to Aaron Donald tipping a pass. I think what did AD have? 3 sacks or something like that. Absolute monster, first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think anybody can argue against that. Ernest Jones, though, he played a really good game. They really need him to be that next level linebacker. Not necessarily like all pro or anything, but they need him to be at least a solid starter at linebacker for this defense to have any sort of a shot, because that's really their weakest area. I forget what the guy's first name is, but Gaines, he's like the D lineman, defensive end. He's impressive. I don't know how long he's been in the league. I don't know much about him, but he's out here chasing Kyler down. He makes plays. I like him a lot. He played a very good game. Kyler did Kyler things, kind of what you expect, but their defense, for the most part, did what they needed to do. They would bend, but they didn't break, and they made plays when they really, really needed to make those plays. 4th down, stop them. They make the play. Even the touchdown by Connor, it was that close. Donald had his hands on his jersey and he just didn't have his leverage or his balance to hold him out of the end zone. But I was really, really impressed with the Rams this game. If you got to this point in the video, you enjoyed it, like, and if you're new, subscribe. I really appreciate it. The Rams, they look like a contender again, and I'm hopeful that they're going to be able to continue that in the future. So everybody have a great day or night whenever you're seeing this. Peace.